I get a lot of questions about what I have in my car to support me on this year-long trip to visit all the national parks in the lower 48, so I figured I'd walk you through some of it. Welcome to the back of a 2008 Subaru Impreza 2.5i 5-speed with air conditioning and cruise control. That's about it. Nothing special, base model. Love the car, it's been great. In the back here, hopefully you can see this. I'll zoom in a bit. But these are drawers that I got at the Container Store. The Container Store was really good about letting me take things out into the parking lot and try them before I actually bought them. So I'm going to be cut off, but at least I can show you. So these are stackable. Actually, what I did, so they're stackable plastic drawers, and to keep them from sliding around, I actually put Velcro on the bottom of the one on the top and then on the top of the one on the bottom, so that they wouldn't move around so much. So they stack and they sit nicely, but if you're driving around, they could slide a bit. So I did that. In here, this is kind of a miscellaneous drawer. Cutting board, I used a lot. Tupperware, very important. My clippers, you guys know I cut my own hair. Miscellaneous other first aid kits. Some alcohol spray, so when I get all cut up. More Tupperware, should be like this actually. Some Tupperware, I put my brand new headlamp in here just so it doesn't get mashed up, banging into other things. Scissors, these are the most, I use scissors almost every day. These are great. Extra business cards, little peppermint camp soap, flashlight. So kind of miscellaneous stuff, but stuff that I use on a regular basis, and it's handy that it's in this drawer. The bottom drawer, it's got a little bit more. It's got my jet boil, camp stove, mustard. I eat a lot of mustard, as you know. These should be folded up, but these are, as it's mentioned in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, one of the most important things that you can have as a hitchhiker or a traveler is a towel. So I use these all the time, just bar towels instead of paper towels. Peanut butter, curry powder, sort of spices and things. My silverware, rather than use plastic or anything, I had this at home, so why not just take it with me. Miscellaneous other things, can opener, since I eat a lot of beans from a can. People invest in a good can opener. They're not that expensive, and it makes all the difference. This is an OXO. Shoop, shoop. Knives that I use to cut vegetables, and some other things like a little tin foil and camp pots. So this is sort of more kitchenware. That just sits in there nicely. I have a plastic container where I keep my toiletries. That kind of sits right in here so that this doesn't move around. Right now it's in the house. This nice big black diamond lantern, which works really well. Other miscellaneous things here. Fuel, camp fuel. I have also purchased at the Container Store. Let me get rid of this for now. Again, they let me take all this stuff out, and you'll see how many containers I have, and actually put them in my car and do a little Tetris, a little origami, make sure it's all folded and fits nicely before I bought it. So I ended up going in and out of the store maybe 4, 5, 6 times. So these little stackable things here. So all sorts of stuff that I want to have easy access to, like sunscreen, my other headlamp that I use mostly around the camp and not as much to run with when I have to run at night. And then the one on the bottom has insect repellent, which is important, some first aid first aid things that I want to have close by, and more sunscreen, which I use a lot of sunscreen. If you're interested in the sunscreen, I like Blue Lizard. It's Australian sunscreen, but this is the face kind. It's non-comedogenic, so it won't comedogenic, won't clog your pores, which is good. This is for the face, and it's kind of faded, this one, but this is their sport for the rest of your body. It's high zinc oxide, so it makes you have a little bit of a white cast, but I'd rather have that than skin cancer. Put all this back in here. I have a tarp, which I used only a few times. If you're doing traditional camping, like where you're setting up a camp or a tent on the ground, then of course you'd use the tarp more. But I have the rooftop tent, so I didn't need it as much. And now the refrigeration. So there's no food in here right now. It's just a Coleman cooler. Nothing special. This one actually had wheels on it. I took the wheels off because I didn't need them, and it fit better. So other than that, and it used to have the handle where you could like a carry-on or a suitcase to wheel it around on the wheels, and so I took that off too because it fit better as well. So on the inside there's nothing there. I got all the food inside right now, but what I will show you is I got kind of tired of, I would just put ice in the bottom and everything would sit in the ice and the ice would melt and everything would get soaking wet. So, you know, nothing like soaking wet spinach or vegetables and your apples and stuff just laying in the water. It's terrible. So I tried to figure out what would be a good way to help avoid this, and was in, I think it might have been a Walmart, doing a little grocery shopping. I thought, you know, maybe I can find some Tupperware that fits in the bottom of the cooler that I could put the ice in, seal the Tupperware, and it would keep it cold. You know, you maybe lose a little bit because you've got the Tupperware plastic in between the ice and your food, but it would be better than having everything get sopping wet and having to throw a lot of it away once it was waterlogged. So I ended up finding just that. So this is, I don't know how big it is. That would really help you, but it's this size and it fits perfectly in the bottom of the cooler. So in fact, it'll take, I've got water in there from the last bag of ice that, how about down here, that I had in there. It fits a perfect 10 pounds of ice. It's great. So that keeps things cool for a while and doesn't get stuff all wet. Works out really well. I sounded like Bill Clinton there for a second. It works out really well. So I also have my camp axe, which Fisker's X70 works really well, again, for small stuff. And extra oil. Car does really well, but it does use just a little bit of oil in between oil changes. So that is the back of the car. So I've made a couple other videos about eating out of the back of my car, rest stop lunches, pictures and things I've done to this. This is how I do it. Pop open the cooler, pop open the drawers here, get out, slice some vegetables, make a sandwich, mix up my rice and beans using the jet boil and minute rice and a can of beans, mix it all together, add a little mustard, a little curry powder, a little curry mustard, good stuff. And that's my lunch. So this is sort of the kitchen area.